back at it with an update, man. You see Tyler Perry there catching up with the paparazzi, right? And they wanted to know about 50 Cent, as we've all been seeing everything 50's got going down, aside from trolling, or let's say exposing Diddy. It goes a little further than trolling, as I've been pointing out. 50 Cent, we know he loves to get petty. We just been seeing him and Busta Rhymes go back and forth over the past couple of days, you know what I'm saying? He likes to bust balls, pause. Gotta throw an extra pause in there when you got Diddy's name in the mix, right? But with Diddy, it was more than that. He was really letting the people know something was off. Like, hey, this isn't just comedy and witty punchlines trying to run some numbers up on the gram. This is some other stuff. This is Diddy Stein Island, you heard? And you know, everyone, myself included, has been wondering, as we heard other people like Suge Knight and some other individuals mention some other people within the industry, you know, that they claim were in the know about Diddy and were more or less complicit. You know, Suge Knight said that he's known to tell tall tales a bit, but there's been some other people to speak out. And one of the names that keeps coming up is Jay-Z. And Fifth has been going at Jay-Z as well, saying things like, yo, Diddy's blowing up Jay, I ain't answering the phone, I'm in hiding, just different little things like that. And I don't know, I'm wondering if you guys, everyone join the discussion in the comments, if you think that's just trolling with Jay-Z, or is there something there you believe that him and Diddy spent time on the Wicket Island together? You know, are they both on the same flight manifest list and all that? Comment and let me know what you think about that. But one major thing that he has going down, and the whole Diddy thing ties into it, as everyone may have heard, he has a docu-series coming, and I believe Netflix won the bidding war, and Fifth has been doing his thing, acting and BMF Power, and you know, he officially launched a little while back with the whole Humor and Harmony weekend that Shreveport, Louisiana was gonna be his headquarters, G-Unit Films Studios, you know what I mean? He had a big event. Hurricane Chris got all in his feelings and dropped a weak ass diss song. That was trash. Let me know if you agree on that. But it was big news for Shreveport. Like Fifth is setting up shop in Shreveport. He had the big Sphere out there, like Vegas, a huge event. Lots of big comedians, artists, everything. It was lit, you know, and this was to launch everything. And with Tyler Perry being there, you know, we were hearing that Fifth was kind of under the wing in a sense, like he was following Tyler Perry's blueprint with his studios and how he has his movement going. But it seems everything has been good to go, life's great, and then next thing you know, we hear this update.
All right, thank you, Evan. Joining us like he does every Wednesday, Mayor Tom Arsenault with Shreveport. Thanks for coming on.
It's good to be here.
Thank you for being here. We have a lot to get through this morning. Let's talk about HB2, which deals with different credits.
Right.
The film tax credit is one that we are watching. They had the third reading on yesterday. So today around, I think, 2 o'clock, they're going to kick it back up and start votes. What do you know about that?
Well, so far, not a lot of good news on that front. We have a firm that is representing us down in Baton Rouge. We keep in touch through them with the legislators. I've also been in touch with some of our legislators to try and see what we can do about that. But that one looks like that is going to go through the House, and we'll begin working on the Senate side.
Okay. What does that mean for 50 Cent?
Well,
I think we've all been looking at each other like...
He has not indicated that that's an absolute deal killer, but you know,
But he came here for that.
Well, he came here to film,
right?
And obviously that's a part of the calculus of that. So yes, it likely will have an impact on some of his decisions.
Is there anything we can do on the city side to maybe give him some incentives? Is that something y'all talked about?
Well, we don't we don't have an income tax,
Gotcha.
so we don't have any tax credits that we can give. So we're trying to work through the governor's office. Mr. Jackson and I met with the governor, and the governor seemed open to some other forms of incentives that were not specified.
Okay. Any chance that he'll meet with lawmakers? I mean, I know the governor is the governor, but like maybe testimony in front of the House or the Senate lawmakers to really put his plea out.
I think with his travel schedule, that's probably unlikely, but possible.
Maybe a Zoom.
Absolutely. So you guys have budget meetings for the city coming up.
We do. We had some yesterday. We have some all day today. Basically, what we're doing is laying out our proposed budget for the city council department by department. This is a tough budget for 2025 because our sales tax revenues are they're not down, but they're flat. And we had thought we would have an increase this year, which we didn't. And we were worried about next year. We had forecasted originally about a 2.5% increase. Now that we see that sales taxes are still flat, we're coming back and actually cutting $3 or $4 million out of the budget to try and account for the fact that we think that sales taxes are likely to be flat. And of course, if they're not, then we could add money back.
So it impacts the police department and the fire department on incentives.
It impacts all departments, but yes, we are having to back off some of the incentives for police and fire recruitment and retention because the money just isn't there.
I want to ask you real quick, and I don't know if this is something you've discussed citywide, but the president-elect's talked about mass deportations. Is that, we've seen municipalities like New York, Los Angeles say they're not going to assist with their police departments. Have you guys talked about that possibility at all?
We haven't talked about it. I don't know that we have a large population like some of those large cities do, and we'll have to face that when we look at it.
Okay. Mayor Arsenault, thank you.
So, man, the mayor there, who 50 Cent, as you see, has met with him numerous times. He also met with the governor, who you heard the mayor mention, speaking about these tax incentives and credit or whatever. And I don't know, like, I've seen this happen before. There was a show, I don't know if anyone ever watched it, on Netflix called Bloodline, right? It was a good show. I want to say it came out in like 2015, I believe. And 2016, it ended up ending in 3 seasons, right? But what really went down, it was supposed to be like a 4 or 5 season show. Season 3 was a bunch of stuff jammed all together because the Florida tax credit to create TV and films there got deaded in that time. So they wrapped up production. You know, it ended the show early, and the 3rd season was all twisted up. It was a good show too. Tap in and let me know if you watched that show, if you rocked with it. But that's why it came to a screeching halt in the way in which it did in the 3rd season. Just made no sense. But this seems wild, man, because it seemed like all the meetings we were seeing 50 Cent in, and all the news coverage, and it just seemed like he was being welcomed with open arms down there in Shreveport, Louisiana, and a lot of the locals were very excited for this, that it would, that it would just stimulate the local economy, and it was a big deal and seemed to be supported. But now we hear this, and he sounded very like, this ain't gonna happen. Like, there's no way it's gonna work out. Did y'all catch that? Like, when they were saying, well, what about this, that? I don't think 5th schedule will permit it. And I don't know, I guess the Louisiana House voted 87-12 to dead off that. But now it's on the governor in the state Senate. But it's not looking good. As you heard, 2 other stuff mentioned, like fire and police and mass deportations and things like that. And I don't know, 5th has responded here. He's trying to give some encouragement to the people of Louisiana, but it doesn't sound like he seems too positive about this. As you see, he threw up a couple of tweets or posts here. He says, this doesn't feel good, but it could be great for Louisiana. Patience, let's see how it plays out. And then he said, I know people in Shreveport are sick right now. Stay positive. Everything happens for a reason. I want to thank you for supporting me with humor, harmony, having 0 violent crimes for 16 days. Believe it or not, that made that event one of my biggest accomplishments, you know? So it just seemed like everything was set to go, you know? Like this was a done deal. It's been in the news nonstop, and I don't know, things shook and moved politically in a different way, and it looks like that could be a wrap for it all. You know, 50 Cent's incentive to build a film empire in Shreveport, Louisiana, looks to be going out in the wash. The state's House of Representatives decided this week to eliminate its $150 million tax incentive just as his operation was getting revved up. I wonder, you know, where this came from. You know, politicians, you know, money, things like this. In my opinion, there's always seemingly more than meets the eye, if you feel me on that. But man, I wonder where Fifth's next location will be if this does indeed seem to not work out as that's what it seems going on. Where are some other areas that offer, you know, tax incentives when it comes to films and television? I guess we'll have to wait and see. But as it seems for now, the whole 50 Cent G-Unit Film Studios TV in Shreveport just ain't meant to be. So subscribe to the channel, hit the comments. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Stay tuned for updates. Peace.